This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, read by Soundithavam. The President says to get ready to embark on a new journey in the tourism sector by overcoming challenges. Newly constructed houses provided to the residents who are residing in the close proximity of the oil pipelines which run from the Colombo port to the Colonnava oil refinery plant. 747 more discharged after recovery from COVID-19. COVID-19 figures go up by 369 new positive cases. Nearly 57,000 in the Western Province to be vaccinated today. The Speaker and 24 MPs received the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The intake of the students into state universities has been increased from this year by 10,579. In news overseas, New Zealand ends lockdown after deciding outbreak contained. In sports, South African former captain Faf du Plessis has announced his retirement from Test cricket. In the face of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, the government has taken every possible measure to provide all required facilities, notwithstanding the health-related restrictions imposed to ensure the safety of the public. As the tourism sector is a vital component of the national economy of the country, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa called on the entrepreneurs of the field to get ready to embark on a new journey by overcoming challenges. The President made these comments during a discussion with the representatives of the tourism sector held at the Presidential Secretariat today. Heads of line institutes in the tourist industry and leading entrepreneurs were present. Attention was paid to give priority to personnel such as hotel employees, tour guides and drivers under the ongoing COVID vaccination program. It was stated that there is no requirement to quarantine service providers when the tourists are not tested positive. A decision was taken to shuttle the infected tourists to the hospitals in Koggala, managed by Lanka Hospital Private Limited and the Sri Lanka Army. A decision was taken to shuttle the infected tourists to the hospitals in Koggala, managed by Lanka Hospital Private Limited and the Sri Lanka Army. The President instructed officials to pay due attention to direct the tourists as per the approved tourism plan. The President advised the relevant officials to make necessary measures to improve facilities for tourists and to take into account the comments made by them when they depart to their respective countries. The entrepreneurs stated that they will take all steps possible to achieve future goals under proper strategies, as the government has already provided necessary relief. During the discussion, it was revealed that according to the figures, the percentage of COVID-19 infected tourists who arrived in the country during the outbreak is less than 1%. Newly constructed houses have been provided to the residents who are residing in the close proximity of the oil pipelines which run from the Colombo port to the Colonnava oil refinery plant. A special function in this regard was held today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. 112 families who had been residing close to the oil pipelines for the last 7 years have been provided with new houses in a different location. It is reported that people used to put up their houses within a 6.5-kilometer range from the oil pipeline during the last 35 years. This exercise has resulted in many adverse effects. This has caused many hardships to the residents and also put their life and property at risk. Taking these factors into consideration, the present government has taken effective measures to build new houses for those residents at a different location. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, in the capacity of the Minister of Housing, has taken initiatives in this regard. Under the first phase of this project, 125 houses have been provided to the selected recipients. The Ministry of Health says that another 747 patients who had previously tested positive for COVID-19 have recovered and been discharged from hospitals within the last 24 hours. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 71,176. A total of 77,184 cases of coronavirus have been reported in Sri Lanka so far, while 5,599 of them are currently under medical care. Sri Lanka's death toll due to the virus stands at 409. Sri Lanka reported 369 new infections of the novel coronavirus today, the 17th, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva confirmed. Accordingly, the total count of COVID-19 cases reported in the country reached 77,553. According to the Health Ministry's data, 71,176 of the confirmed patients have made complete recoveries from the virus. However, 5,968 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centres located across the island. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has witnessed 409 deaths due to the virus so far. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Nearly 57,000 persons are to be vaccinated against the COVID-19 pandemic today, February 17th, says Acting Minister of Health, Professor Channa Jayasumana. The persons vaccinated will include those who interact closely with the public in the Western Province. The vaccination will be carried out under the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Jayasumana said. Speaking to the media, Professor Jayasumana stated that 27,018 vaccinations will be carried out in the Colombo district, while 17,622 in the Gampaha district and 11,710 in the Kalutara district. Accordingly, all persons aged between 30 to 60 years in identified Gramanilala divisions within the following medical of Officer of Health MOH jurisdictions: Colombo district, Kolanawa, Gotatua, Moratua, Egoda Uyana and Hanwella; Kalutara district, Agalavatta, Bandaragama, Matugama, Panadura, Horana, Beruwala and Kalutara; Gampaha district, Gampaha, Attanagalla, Nigambo, Sidua, Mahara, Biagama, Wattala, Minuangoda, Ragama, Jaila and Kalaniya. According to Professor Jayasumana, it has been decided to leave a 10-week gap between the first dose and the second dose of the vaccine. Court, it has been observed that nearly 70% protection is obtained from the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine after 3 weeks from the administration. The second dose will further increase its effectiveness. Initially, the second dose was said to be given in about 4 weeks, but so far we have seen with data from around the world that the time gap between the two doses can be further extended. Accordingly, we have decided to keep a gap of 10 weeks, unquote. Professor Jayasumana further stated that Sri Lanka is able to procure the needed amount of second doses and that the confirmation has been received on it. Speaker Mahindayapa Abewardena received the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine at the Army Hospital in Narayanpeta this morning. The Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle, was also present when the vaccine was administered to the Speaker. The Speaker received this vaccine to encourage the people. Meanwhile, 24 government and opposition MPs have received the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine as of this afternoon. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which conducts the Ratana Sutra chanting program in island-wide Buddhist temples, has made arrangements to conduct tomorrow's program at the Kalutara Vadua Morantudua Sambuddha Purana Vihara. This has the 114th program of the series. The Ratana Sutra chanting program will be aired live tomorrow from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. through the City FM, Sinhala commercial service and all regional services of the SLBC. That concludes local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The chairman of the University Grants Commission, Professor Sampath Amaratunga, says the intake of the students into state universities has been increased from this year by 10,579. Accordingly, it is expected to absorb more than 40,000 students into 15 state universities this year. The process will be carried out with the support of vice-chancellors of the universities. The Treasury has extended its support in this regard. Professor Amaratunga revealed this information at a media conference held in Colombo today and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohan has said the number of road accidents in Sri Lanka has risen to 120 per day. The number of road accidents daily in Sri Lanka in 2019 was around 84. Also, 11 deaths were reported in the 24 hours ending at 6 a.m. yesterday. 9 of the deaths were due to road accidents on the 15th, while 2 others were hospitalized due to previous accidents. 5 motorcyclists and 4 pedestrians were among the dead. The police spokesman pointed out that 10 or 11 people die in road accidents every day, which is very high, and that people should be more vigilant to prevent accidents. The number of injuries due to road accidents has increased to 40 per day, and speeding, drunk driving and disregarding traffic signs have been identified as the main causes of these accidents, the police spokesman said. That came to In Watchlight. World News up next.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, New Zealand ends lockdown after deciding outbreak contained. South Africa launches COVID-19 vaccination program with J&J shots. US ships sails in South China Sea by China-claimed islands. A lockdown in the New Zealand city of Auckland will end at midnight, the government announced today, after concluding a coronavirus outbreak had been contained. The nation's largest city was put into lockdown on Sunday after 3 unexplained cases were found in the community. It was the first lockdown in 6 months in a nation which so far has managed to successfully stamp out the spread of the disease. The move to end the lockdown came as health authorities said the outbreak had grown by 3 cases to 6 in total. But Prime Minister Jacinta Ardern said the additional cases were to be expected because they involved close contacts. South Africa launched its COVID-19 vaccination drive today, battling to tame a more infectious variant of the coronavirus with a rollout of the Johnson & Johnson shot for the first time outside of a clinical trial. Authorities in South Africa have recorded almost half of the COVID-19 deaths in all of Africa and over a third of confirmed infections on the continent, but has lagged wealthier nations, Western nations, in launching mass immunization programs. The government plans to vaccinate 40 million people, or 2/3 of the population in Africa's most industrialized economy, to achieve some level of herd immunity. A US Navy warship sailed by islands claimed by China in the South China Sea today in a freedom of navigation operation, marking the latest move by Washington to challenge Beijing's territorial claims in the contested waters. The US Navy's 7th Fleet said destroyer USS Russell asserted navigational rights and freedom in the Spratly Islands consistent with international law. China claims sovereignty over the entire archipelago, but Brunei, Malaysia and the Philippines, Taiwan and Vietnam have also lodged competing claims for same or all of the islands. Back to the headlines of this World News broadcast. New Zealand ends lockdown after deciding outbreak contained. South Africa launches COVID-19 vaccination program with J&J shots. And the US ship sails in South China Sea by China-claimed islands. That concludes World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Moving on to development news, the construction work of the irrigation projects in the Anuradhapura district will be accelerated parallel to the Vari Saubhagya Irrigation Prosperity Programme by the Irrigation Department. Irrigation Minister Chamal Rajapaksa has instructed the Irrigation Director General and senior irrigation engineers to accelerate the irrigation development projects, as delaying these projects badly affects the economy. 14 major irrigation schemes at a cost of 70,800 million rupees will be accelerated. The government has allocated 5,970 million rupees for the project, which came to you in development news. On to sports. One of the greats of the South African cricket team, FEB du Plessis, has announced his retirement from Test cricket. Du Plessis revealed the decision to the media today after failing to live up to the billing on the tour of South Africa. Du Plessis said that he wanted to finish his career in the longest format of the game against Australia, but since the series was cancelled, he decided to hang up his boots. Du Plessis also released a statement on social media as he announced the big decision. In the statement, Du Plessis expressed his intentions of continuing playing in the shortest format of the game, especially considering the year 2021 and 2022 will feature T20 World Cups. The veteran batsman also refused to rule ODI cricket out of the picture, saying he intends to continue in the 50-over format too. That's sports news. Business news up next.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Heritage Sri Lanka mobile and web app was presented to Minister Vidura Vikramanayake at the State Ministry of National Heritage, Performing Arts and Rural Arts Promotion recently to provide an easy access to the accurate information on heritage sites in Sri Lanka. The Information and Communication Agency Technology of Sri Lanka has developed this app in collaboration with the Department of Archaeology and the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs. This app benefits both local and foreign tourists, as well as students, researchers and local businesses, as it makes finding accurate information on heritage sites in Sri Lanka easier, thus increasing the satisfaction of the users. That's Business News. Economic news up next.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down. Everything is sorted. Why? I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Sri Lanka is to launch a global campaign to draw tourists to the country after the coronavirus took a serious hit on the industry. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has appointed a high-level committee to steer the entire process. The High-Powered Steering Committee for Strategic Management of Global Promotional Campaign includes stakeholders from the tourism industry. Tourism Ministry Secretary S. Hettiarachchi has informed the committee on their appointment, noting that they will be tasked with ensuring a successful global campaign to promote the Sri Lankan tourism. The new committee will plan, execute and monitor every aspect related to the global campaign. That's economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to the weather report to conclude. The Met Department says a few showers may occur in the eastern coastal areas, particularly in the night. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Sabragama, central, Uva and southern provinces during the night. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabragama and Uva provinces and in the Gaul and Marjora districts during the morning hours too. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President says to get ready to embark on a new journey in the tourism sector by overcoming challenges. Newly constructed houses provided to the residents who are residing in the close proximity of the oil pipelines which run from the Colombo port to the Kolonava oil refinery plant. 747 more discharged after recovery from COVID-19. COVID-19 figures go up by 369 new positive cases. Nearly 57,000 in the Western Province to be vaccinated today. The Speaker and 24 MPs received the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The intake of the students into state universities has been increased from this year by 10,579. New Zealand ends lockdown after deciding outbreak contained. South African former captain FEB du Plessis has announced his retirement from Test cricket. That concludes this bulletin of news, and it's back to your hostess tonight, Chandima Virakon, to take you to the end of transmission. Back to you, Chandima.